What's going on, guys? As you know, this is Face Tats McGee, and welcome to another episode of the Murder Mentality. That makes it 34 episodes this year. 34 episodes this year. Super rad. I'm pumped AF about it. So, I shared some of the affirmations I did the other day, that me and my producer put together the other day, with a few of the people that were on my program or had been on my program. For some reason, Siri on my fucking tablet is consistently talking to me. Let me go turn that person off.
Something went wrong.
Shut up, Siri. Look, Siri, nobody's talking to you. Shut up. For real, for real. Nobody said a word to you, Siri. Go away. Thank you. Okie dokie. Don't ask me why that keeps happening, but it does. Alrighty, but here's the thing though. So I talked the other day about just giving up control of the outside world to God, letting God be God, man. It's a really hard thing for me to do. I'm a control freak, type A personality, driver, pilot, if you've ever taken a flight assessment. Like, I just like being in control, you know? But the thing is that when I get put under pressure, one of the interesting personality traits that expresses itself through me is that I tend to fall back and allow other people to do their jobs and their work as well and not try to control everything around me. So I do kind of function in that well, but it's still hard. I have to consciously do it, all right? And the other funny thing about it too, though, is that, like, you know, I'm a very gregarious person, and when you put me under massive amounts of pressure, I get more so. What's up, Kyler? And so this whole process that I've been going through, you know, I've been talking about it consistently. There's some really difficult stuff going on with how I'm dealing with my kids and how I'm dealing with, like, you know, custody, and how I'm dealing with just at large the difficulties that I'm facing in life. And it's been really hard not to want to keep putting my hands in it. And the worst part about it is that I've been experiencing massive fucking quantities of anxiety because I'm wanting to put my hands in it and I'm not. So the cool part is what that really means is that I'm learning. It means that I am consistently, like, getting better. But it also means that I'm going to have to experience some difficulties in this growth. I'm going to have to experience... What's up, honey? Thanks for the love bomb. I'm going to have to experience a lot of anxiety. Like, I get, like, that pit of my stomach feeling. I start obsessing, and before I know it, it's just like I'm fucking sick. Just sick with it, you know? And I hate that feeling so fucking much. But I'm going to have to experience some things I don't like to get results that I want. And as I talked about yesterday, letting God be God and taking my fucking hands out of every situation that I'm in is so important, because really the only thing I can do is meet those situations with the best version of me. This idea that we can control the fucking world around us is retarded. It's ridiculous. It doesn't work. But what we do have to do is put ourselves into our best version of ourselves. Stay in motherfucking position and let the world come to you. The world will meet you where you meet yourself. Okay? The world will meet you where you meet yourself. And I'm going to read a passage out of this here, because this book has been fucking kicking my ass and I love it. Okay? But what it keeps doing is I open to a random page and I swear to my creator, to God, that every time I do it, it puts the exact information that I needed at that moment into my head, okay? Just so hear me out. I cracked it. I read about this much of the first paragraph, and I was like, well, okay, cool, thanks. I hear you, dude. I hear you, God. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. If you continue to do what's right, what's wrong, and who's wrong will eventually leave your life. Alrighty. A businessman had personalized letterhead that read, "Right is right even if everyone is against it, and wrong is wrong even if everyone is for it." James 1:12 says, "Happy is the man who doesn't give in and do wrong when he is tempted, for afterwards he will get his reward, the crown of life that God has promised those who love him." Spend less time worrying about who's right and take charge of deciding what's right in your life. Ugh, man, that hits. Man, that hits. All right? Don't let someone else choose it for you. Your failures may be planned by hell, but your victory is planned by heaven. And remember, when somebody wants to do wrong, it is never God who is tempting them, for God never wants to do wrong and never tempts anyone else to do it. You cannot do the right thing too soon. for you never know when it will be too late. You can always find the time to do what you really want to do. Successful people understand that no one makes it to the top in a single bound. What sets them apart is their willingness to keep putting right step in front of the other right step, no matter how tough or rough the terrain. We are what we repeatedly do. Consider the words of John Wesley. Do all the good you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. You draw nothing out of the bank of life except what you deposit in it. The height of a man's potential is in proportion to his surrender to what is right. People who live right never get left. Any act of disobedience lengthens the distance between you and your dream, and likewise no problem can stand the assault of sustained prayer and right action. Now, that teared me up with how powerful I believe the messages we get from our Creator become when we start to do the right fucking thing. When we start to see that no matter what, it's already okay. It's just a matter of whether or not we're okay or not. Okay? I cannot understate how incredibly powerful it is to just be the right person. Okay? I talk about this all the time. There's lots of actions that help make you become the right person. But you do those actions because you already are the right person. It's not about whether or not you can put the best front on. How willing are you to turn it over? Turn over control of the world because you don't have it anyway. Turn over control of other people because you don't have that anyway. I truly believe that real leaders, real fucking leaders, lead with inspiration. I don't know anything else that has ever got me to really want to change. I mean, negative consequences did a little bit. Seeing my life deteriorate and realize that it was my fault did a lot, have a big fucking part to play in that. But hearing somebody else say something that inspired me because I knew that they had come from a similar place as I had. Knowing that my words right now to somebody might inspire them to change their life for the better keeps me driving forward. Do all the good you can for all the people you can, at all times that you can, for as long as you can. That's not a direct quote. I know I paraphrased it, but damn, guys. Think about how many different times you were that close to victory in your life, and then you tried to pull the punch and do something a little bit shady just to kind of get that last little bit instead of being patient and turning it over. Well, here's what happens to me when I do that. I fuck everything up. But when I did like I did last night, and I prayed, and I backed off, it's like the most bizarre things start happening. It's like everything falls into fucking place. All the little things that I could never have arranged in a million years on my own are just like dink, 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 dink. And it's like, okay, maybe those things that I get frustrated with are actually not things I should be getting frustrated with. They're things that I should be looking at as just yet another milestone in this process. Staying in position doesn't mean not doing anything. It means doing the right thing consistently. It means not changing the playbook halfway through. It means staying consistent and consistently doing the right thing. I know they're here. Okay, thank you. And so I'm going to invite you today to do something that's very, very, very uncomfortable. Turn over control. Let me rephrase that. Turn over your illusion of having control on the world around you. Right? Turn it over. Stop pretending like you really can change or control anything around you except for you. Something that hit me really hard that one of my boys, Brett, shared last night, and I'm going to share it with you again. I shared it with you last night, is that the devil, your spiritual enemy, wants you to feel like he does. Wants you to feel like unsavable, unworthy. Wants you to feel like there's nothing you could ever do to change. Wants you to feel hopeless and angry and vengeful. And so that's one of the things that my affirmation video is about, where it's like, you know, I don't remember it word for word because I literally just did it like off the dome, but it's just like I let God channel, I think, a message through me. And it was things like, I understand that my soul and my body are perfect because they are creations of God. I understand that God is love and love is passion. And therefore God inside me, anything I apply love to will be passionate. Like, I've got goosebumps saying this to you guys. Like, we must look to ourselves to realize that all the uncomfortable emotions we experience, all of the anger we experience, all of the frustration, everything we experience that's a negative emotion is not of God. And interestingly enough, a lot of the positive emotions aren't necessarily of God either. I think that love is peace of mind. It's internal peace. Love glows. It doesn't flash. Okay? And that means that you can still have your heart filled with love even in the darkest of times. You can, as I've said many times before, strike down your enemy with a lack of hatred in your heart. Because if you strike them down with hatred, then are you any different? So again, I'm inviting you today to do something very uncomfortable. Figure out what it is that you are just obsessing about, that you think that you can change and make happen on your time. Be it people, be it situations, be it whatever. And allow it to play out in God's way. But that doesn't mean stop doing anything. It means staying in position and doing the correct thing. Patience, consistency, action. And just watch. That moment when you think that you can't stand it anymore is when that next piece will fall into place and you can say, damn, man, I'm so impatient. I'm so impatient. A week, and all of a sudden I'm starting to want to question whether or not God has this shit. That's not real. God has it. It's fully in hand. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. My client's already waiting out there. A little bit behind today, but we got to keep it in every day. Love you.